Good day everyone, hope you're well. Today we will be looking at the accounting equation activity that was due on the 5th of June. This will be a memo discussion. This is the activity that you've received. I went and added T accounts to make it easier to explain it to you how the transactions will work. Right, so the first one. The owner invested 500,000 Rand cash transferred in the business bank account. So firstly, we need to identify the two accounts. We know that in grade 8 we work with only cash transactions, so one of the accounts will always be bank. Now, if the owner transfers money into the business bank account, we know by definition it can only be capital. So the first one, my bank will increase with 500,000 Rand. Remember, bank is an asset, and assets will increase in my debit side. Therefore, the sign is plus minus. And capital is an owner's equity account. It is minus plus. Capital will always have a positive influence on my owner's equity. Right, so there, bank is being debited and capital is being credited. Right, so in our accounting equation, when we do something like this, the owner invested cash transferred in the business bank account. It is most likely a direct transfer, therefore your source document should be bank statement. Account being debited, we saw just here, it will be your bank account. Bank is classified as an asset, therefore my assets will increase with 500,000 Rand. Right, account being credited will be capital. Capital and capital will always have a positive influence on your owner's equity. Remember what I just told you. Right, so now remember, assets equals owner's equity plus liabilities. Therefore, 500,000 equals 500,000 plus 0. Therefore, we have done this one correctly. The second one. The business bought a vehicle for 15,000 Rand cash. Right, identify the two accounts. We know one will be bank and the other one will be vehicles. Right, so 15,000 Rand, yes. My bank will decrease with 15,000 Rand. Remember, I need to get the money from somewhere to buy this vehicle. So my bank is classified as an asset. Therefore, the signs plus minus bank is decreasing. My vehicles is also classified as an asset, plus and a minus. You need to remember that vehicles will now increase because I bought more vehicles. So my bank will be my account being credited and my vehicles will be my account being debited. Let's go and fill that in. Right, so we bought for cash, so our source document most likely will be the check counterfoil. Our bank will decrease. I'm always doing bank first, then I know at least I will get those marks already. So bank will decrease with 15,000 Rand. Right, so bank will decrease with 15,000 Rand. Vehicles will be debited. Right, vehicles. Oh no, bad typo. Right, so vehicles is an asset, it will increase, therefore plus 1 2 3. There you go. Right, so the next one. Let's just quickly test this. Plus 15,000 minus 15,000 equals 0 plus 0. Therefore, we have done the second one correctly. Right, the third one. Bought equipment for 26,000 Rand cash. It's going to look more or less the same. Bank is classified as an asset, therefore plus and minus. Equipment is classified as an asset, plus and minus. I forgot the amount. Right, so the amount was 26,000 Rand. Bank will decrease with 26,000 Rand and my equipment will increase with 26,000 Rand. Right, bank will be credited and equipment will be debited. Bought for cash, so my source document most likely check counterfoil again. Bank will decrease with an amount of 26,000 Rand. That's some expensive equipment. Right, Then equipment. Equipment is also classified as an asset, and assets increase in the debit side, therefore assets plus 26,000 Rand. In a test, if you were to write plus minus 26,000 Rand, you will get all of your marks. That's correct as well. Right, plus 26,000 minus 26,000 equals 0 plus 0. Right, number 4. The business buys stock from a supplier on cash for 500 Rand. Right, so two accounts, bank and trading stock. Bank and trading stock. You've not done a lot of this. You don't work with trading stock in grade 8 really, because you work with a service business, but essentially it's going to look exactly the same as the previous two transactions. Bank will decrease with 500 Rand. Right, so my bank will decrease with 500 Rand and my trading stock will increase with 500 Rand. Bank will be credited and trading stock will be debited. Right, so let's go and fill that in. Bought for cash. Remember, the business buys stock from a supplier on cash, so check counterfoil. Bank will decrease, so therefore bank decrease minus 500 Rand. And then trading stock, which is also an asset, will increase. Remember, assets increase on the debit side. So assets increase with 500 Rand. There you go. Then on the 5th, the owner withdraws 1,000 Rand from the bank for his own use. Right, so the amount 1,000 Rand. The two accounts, remember, we know one is going to be bank and the other one's going to be drawings. Bank is classified as an asset, therefore plus, minus, and drawings is classified as owner's equity, but the sign is also plus, minus. The business's bank account will decrease with 1,000 Rand, so bank will be credited and drawings will be debited with 1,000 Rand. Drawings will always have a negative influence on owner's equity. Remember the opposite influence from capital. Capital will have a positive influence on owner's equity, whilst drawings will have a negative influence on owner's equity. Right, so check counterfoil, my source document. My bank is decreasing with 1,000 Rand, and my drawings will have a negative influence on my owner's equity. Just take this space away. I don't know why I've done that. Right, so minus 1,000 will equal minus 1,000 plus 0. Therefore, we've done the 5th one correct as well. Right, number 6. The business takes out a loan to buy a building to the value of 500,000 Rand. This is a bit more tricky one. Your two accounts, one of them is not going to be bank in this case, since we borrowed money from the bank, okay? So the amount is 500,000 Rand. Remember, the two accounts we are working with, loan, bank name. They didn't give us a bank name in this instance, but the signs for liabilities is minus, plus. And land and building is an asset, and the signs for assets is plus, minus. So my liabilities will increase with that amount. 500,000 Rand. I think it was 500,000 Rand. 500,000, yes. So land and buildings will be credited while my, loan will be credited while my land and building will be debited. It is increasing. Right. Loan, liability, land and buildings, assets. So you will most likely see this transaction on the bank statement. Right, so your liabilities will be credited, your loan. I'm just saying here bank name. This is normally how you would write it, but they didn't give you a bank name, but so that you know in future. So your liabilities will be credited and the credit side will increase your liabilities. Right, land and buildings. will be your account being debited. It is an asset account. Your assets will increase with 500,000 Rand. So 500,000 Rand equals 0 plus 500,000 Rand. Therefore, you've done 6 correctly as well. Right, last one. Paid the 3,000 Rand telephone bill. Yo, she was on the phone for a long time. But in any case, paid the telephone bill. Assets. Plus minus, bank is an asset, therefore plus minus, telephone is an expense account, and the signs for expenses is plus minus. My bank will decrease with that amount, very expensive telephone bill, and my expenses will increase in the debit side. Right, so my bank will be my account being credited and telephone the account being debited. Alright, so paid the telephone bill. They didn't say how, but in most cases it will be an electronic payment, so your source document is most likely going to be bank statement. It can also be check counterfoil, but so that you understand, normally they give a bit more information in the transaction. So your bank is decreasing, assets decreases in the credit side. It's an asset account, so assets decrease with 3,000 Rand. And then the telephone bill, remember this is the telephone bill, so it's not an asset, it's an expense account, and expenses increases in the debit side, and expenses will always have a negative influence on your owner's equity. There you go. So minus 3,000 Rand equals minus 3,000 Rand plus 0. This one is done correctly. Guys, I hope this helped you. Have an awesome day.